The investments we're announcing today represent over $162 million in additional support for the City of Toronto. And critically for me, it's for the city, it's for the most vulnerable people.
This announcement gives them hope. Give them a path forward. Say to them that yes, you can come to Canada. It is a beacon of hope. You land here. We will shelter you.
It was a friendly and maybe even a celebratory announcement today between Toronto's Mayor Olivia Chow and Liberal MPs for the city, including the Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland, as the feds came to the table with $162 million for Toronto, a funding boost after the mayor issued a pretty stark ultimatum. Cough up the cash for housing for refugees, or Chow would add a big municipal property tax hike and then blame it on Ottawa. So were the feds right to respond to the threat? Let's bring back the front bench. Sabrina Grover, Garry Keller, Gurratan Singh, and Rachel Aiello side by side in our studios in Ottawa. Hey, Rachel, I'm going to start with you on this one if I can. A happy ending, perhaps, but talk to me about the optics here. Did the Trudeau government cave in to Toronto's threats? What do you think?
Government looking for friends. I think there have been other examples of this, although the Liberals will deny it. The whole Atlantic Canada elect more Liberals carbon tax conversation. But I also think it's just worth pointing out the fact that, 25 Toronto MPs and all but one are Liberals. So there is a political element to this. Obviously, they're not in a position right now in the polls to want to be losing any support. So it'll be interesting to see if other political or other municipal leaders try to pull the same tactic in pockets of the country where there are a number of Liberal MPs. But I do think that Toronto is a bit of a unique situation.
Garry Keller, what do you think?
Well, you might be surprised to hear me say this as a conservative, but boy, Olivia Chow's been playing some 4D chess this last little while when it comes to getting dollars out of different levels of the government. I mean, think back a few weeks ago when she got the Gardiner Expressway and the Don Valley Parkway, two very expensive, big pieces of infrastructure. They have billions in deferred maintenance. She got Doug Ford in the province to upload the costs and management of those two infrastructure projects to the province. In exchange for what? Literally zero. She had to acknowledge that the province had authority to do what it wanted to do with Ontario Place, something it already has. So it literally cost her $0 to do that. Fast forward to today, I really think it was a masterclass when she said, look, I'm going to have to raise taxes. It could be as much as, 16%, that extra 6%. Well, it's the Justin Trudeau tax. We have all these refugees and asylum seekers coming to Toronto. Of course, they would come to Toronto. But we're not responsible for the federal government's policy decisions when it comes to immigration policy, refugee policy. So, we're the ones on the hook here. Pay up. And, the Liberals, no secret, they're down in the polls federally. They have, 55 MPs in the GTA alone. And she played that to maximum advantage. So, you know what? From a political standpoint, kudos to her, a masterclass in getting things done.
Gurratan Singh, some Canadians are not fans of Toronto. They say it sucks up too much energy, attention, focus already. Now they might see this as special treatment for Toronto, that it is getting a different kind of treatment than other cities are. Your read?
Well, I think this is actually a necessary investment into the city of Toronto. We're talking about a city that is really a huge economic engine, and it was drawing so many people who were at risk, who needed support, and needed to get the funding from the feds to ensure that they were safe and put in a safe place, and that communities were also safe. And it truly is, it demonstrates the fact that Torontonians elected a leader, a progressive leader like Olivia Chow, and we've seen the huge wins that she's brought to the city. Talking about uploading the DVP and the Gardiner to the province, we're talking about now getting, almost $100 million in the summer and another $162 million now. She has demonstrated how powerfully she can advocate for this city, and it shows when you elect someone who's not beholden to anyone other than the people of Toronto. These are the kind of results you get, funding where it matters the most to help those who are most marginalized.
Although a lot of Toronto taxpayers not happy, Gurratan, with this tax increase that's coming close to 10%, which of course is the highest tax increase Toronto has seen in 25 years. Let's bring in Sabrina to the conversation. Chrystia Freeland, as you know, represents one of the richest ridings in Canada. The optics of her in Toronto with Olivia Chow handing out more money.
I mean, no more triggering words than property tax for most people, am I right? And I think after you hear the word property tax, people kind of stop listening. So I think kudos to Olivia Chow for negotiating these deals. I think she's been a king deal maker in getting what she wants from the province and from the feds on these issues. But at the end of the day, I don't think the framing of this like Justin Trudeau tax would have mattered. I think when people think property tax, they think municipal government, they think mayor, and they think council is responsible. And so she still has increased taxes to 9.5%. She's going to have to demonstrate what that value is actually going to be for Torontonians and how they're actually going to maybe dig themselves out of this financial hole that they've been in for so long. They weren't the picture of fiscal health to begin with. I think from the federal side, though, for the Liberals, this is certainly a good play. It's a great investment. I think that they are stepping up to the plate on this issue on refugees and homelessness where they can, where they're most, valuable and where they're most able to make those investments. And I think for Minister Freeland and for all of those MPs that were there, it allows a bit of a, calmness to some of the troubled relationships